Hi everyone, in this video we are going to learn about the concept called control flow. So there are three basic things that we are going to discuss under this concept. The first one is if, second one is else, the third one is elif. These are the three basic things that we are going to discuss. And there is a fourth thing, that is mixed concept. In this fourth thing, we are trying to combine all these things together in different ways, and then we will understand some examples in this mixed concept. So without any late, let's dive into the first concept, that is if. Here you can see the syntax of if, right? The syntax of the if is, it starts with the if keyword, which is a keyword, right? We know that in Python if is a keyword. Starts with the if keyword and then open bracket and then condition and then followed by a colon. So what does this condition means? This condition is nothing but, previously we have seen the comparison operators. We have seen that, right? What will we do with the comparison operators? We will check the comparisons, right? For example, 2 less than 5 is a comparison, right? Here we use a comparison operator called less than. So what we are trying to compare, whether the value 2 is less than the value 5 or not. This is what we are trying to check, right? So the output of this comparison is what is true, right? Because this condition is true, because 2 is less than 5 obviously, so the output is true, right? In this way, here what we are trying to do is we will check some kind of condition. It may be a simple condition or a composite condition. The simple condition is just like this. What about composite condition? It is nothing but combination of two or more conditions. But to show you that, let me show you some example. 2 less than 5 and 5 greater than 6. So here we can see that this is a combination of two conditions, right? Here this is the first simple condition and this is the second simple condition. So the two conditions are combined by using the AND operator. So these type of conditions are called composite conditions. You can add any number of conditions here based on your requirement. So this is called composite condition, this is called simple condition. So here we can pass any condition that we want to validate. We pass the condition that we want to validate or check. So this is what the condition means. Then what does this colon means? This colon indicates, as I said in the indentation concept, this colon indicates beginning of this block. This if statement block is beginning here. And we will have some statements in this if condition and some another statements, some normal statements. Let's try to see what is the difference here. Here when you try to observe, this indicates beginning of the block and this indentation indicates, here we use an indentation, right? We assume that these are the statements inside the if block, then this is the indentation given by each statement. Then what is this? This is called indentation. If you don't know the concept of indentation, please do watch the concept of indentation in the Python basics playlist. Okay, here we can see that we have used some indentation, right? This indentation indicates these are the statements that are inside the if block. Whenever you are writing a statement with no indentation, here we have used no indentation, right? Whenever you are writing a statement with no indentation, then this statement is out of the if. You can see that this statement is out of the if. Why it is out of the if? Because you are not using any indentation. So whenever you stop using the indentation, which means this if block starts here and ends at this line, because we have stopped giving indentation for the new line, right? So whenever you stopped giving this indentation, which means this if block has ended. So let us try to understand all these concepts in the examples to make things pretty easy. Here in this line number 2, we can see that we have assigned a variable with the value 2. Variable A is containing the value 2 now. And then what we are trying to check in the if, here this if is a keyword, as I said. And what we are trying to check, the condition that is A equal to 2. So here we can see that the value that is present in the A is 2. And then what will happen? 2 equal to 2. This will be the condition, right? And then, so what is the output? So what is the output? The output would be true, because 2 equal to 2, that is true, right? So output would be obviously true. So whenever this condition is true, the statements inside the if block, when you try to observe, this is the only statement inside the if block, right? Here in this code we can see that this is the only statement which is following indentation, which means this is the only statement which is inside the if block. So whenever the condition that you are checking inside the if is true, then automatically the statements inside the if block are executed. So what if the condition is false? Let us try to see it in another example. For now, let us try to understand that if the condition inside the if block is true, then automatically the statements inside the if block are executed. Here when you try to see, here the condition is true. So that's the reason the statement which is inside the if block, that is printed true, is executed and the output true is printed. Now let us try to see the line number 1. Here you can see that the value of the A is initialized to 10 and the value of the B is initialized to 20. And the comparison that we are trying to check is A greater than B. So this is the condition that we are having at our hand. So what we will do, we will replace the value of A by 10 and we will replace the value of B by 30. So when you are trying to check, what we are trying to say, 10 greater than 30, this is obviously false, right? Whenever the condition is false, then what will happen? Let us try to see that. Here, when you try to observe this if block, we are using indentation for this first statement, and for the second statement also we are using the indentation. And then there is a third statement in this code which we are not using indentation, which means, as I said, the block begins here and ends at this line. So this line which is outside the if, which is not inside the if. So these are the two lines which are inside the if. This is the line which is outside the if. So let us try to see. And now here you can see that the condition is false. As I said, what if the condition is false? So whenever the condition here is false, then automatically the lines which are inside the if block, these are the lines, right, which are inside the if block are not executed. The lines inside the if block are not executed because the condition here is false. So from this we can understand a point, right? The if is used to check a condition, and it is trying to execute some statements or some steps if this condition is true. If this condition is false, then it won't execute those steps. So this is just like our daily life incidents, right? So if I got 100 out of 100, then I will get a cake. From that example, you can see that if I got 100 out of 100, here getting 100 out of 100 is a condition, I will get a cake is the statement inside this if condition, right? This is the condition. Getting 100 out of 100 is my condition, and if the condition is true, then what we will do, I will get a cake. In the same way, if I don't get 100 out of 100, then I won't get the cake, right? In the same way, here, when you try to observe this example, the value 10 is greater than 30 is a condition that is false. Whenever this is false, the statements inside the if block, that is print inside if, this is the thing that we are trying to print, right? And an empty print statement which indicates a new line. So when you try to see here, these two statements are not executed. But the statement is executed. Why? Because it is out of the if. It has nothing to do with this condition. Whether this condition is true or false, this statement will be automatically executed. Why? Because it is outside the if. It is not dependent on this condition. But these two lines are dependent on this condition. If this condition is true, then these two lines are executed. If this condition is false, these two lines will be not executed. So this is how if works.